I'm joined today here on Primetime Local News with Pam Rollheiser. She's going to be taking part in the Try for Life cancer fundraiser happening on August 9th. Now, Pam, before we talk about what's going to be happening this year, can you kind of give me backstory about how this got set up and started last year?
So last year, actually originally in 2019, I had qualified to race with what's called Age Group Team Canada. And that meant that I got to race in a world's race. And that world's race was supposed to be happening in Edmonton of 2020. And of course, COVID, everything canceled, right? So what happened was after hearing the news that it had been canceled, I'd gone out for a run. And running is a really good way to sort of work through your therapy, to be honest, right? To just kind of say, yes, this is how everything is. So while I was out there for the run, the only thing that kind of kept coming to me is I want to do something positive with all the training that I've done. And the idea came to me to do a fundraiser for something. And then as I thought about it, okay, who would I do it for? And our family has been touched by cancer, as so many people have been. So it was kind of just a natural one for me. So I contacted the Canadian Cancer Society, and I was thinking I would just kind of put it under the umbrella of something like where they did the walk, the walk for life. But they said, no, this is unique. Let's put it under your own umbrella. Let's do your own fundraiser. So we took it from there and went with it. So, yeah.
Last year's edition was a success, what you ended up doing. But this year you faced a little bit of a setback. Can you talk to me a little bit about what happened recently?
Okay. So, yeah, last year, what I did is I challenged people to give me donations. And then as I got more donations, the distance I went up. So I ended up doing an Olympic distance triathlon. And we got almost $5,000 raised. Now, this year, I was in training and I was starting to do Try One for Life, and how I was running it so far at the beginning of the year, because I was uncertain about what races were coming up. It was still very uncertain about how COVID was going to let things run. So what I was doing is I was thinking, okay, challenge me to get out there and work harder in my training. So when people were making donations, I was dedicating my training time to them and taking requests for thoughts and prayers to be sent out for people who have cancer or families who are dealing with cancer. So I kind of was taking that approach, which I really liked, because it put the focus where I feel the focus should be, on the people who are dealing with cancer and the people who are doing the donations. However, one of those runs, I was out, it was 6:30 in the morning. I was out for a run, and I was on a gravel road out here where we live. And I had to move into the loose gravel on the side of the road. And a silly gopher popped out of the grass right next to me, and it just startled me. So I don't know exactly what happened, but next thing I knew, I was catching myself with my hand and stopped my fall. Thought I was not too bad when I got up. I, looked at my hands and my knees and said, yeah, I got some gravel to pick out, but we'll be good. I had a race 10 days after this, right? So I was, in my mind, I was like, yeah, I'll still be able to race. And then I took a step on my foot and I went, oh no, I'm in trouble. It was just like stabbing pain through my foot. So I started to walk home, actually, and then I realized that I probably wasn't going to make it home if I walked. So I started to run, because when I run, I can focus my energy. So I ran home 2.5 kilometers, got home, got my shoe off, and said, yeah, I'm pretty sure my foot's broken, and went to the hospital, and yeah, they confirmed that I had a break in my foot. So yeah, I had to go through 2 weeks of rest completely, where I was on crutches and in an air boot. The hope had been that at 4 weeks, I'd be able to start to run. But my family doctor had re-x-rayed and said, no, it's not quite ready. And then at that point, I actually went up to Edmonton at the suggestion of our kid's swim coach. She said, why don't you go up to Edmonton to the Randy Gregg Sports Clinic and see what they have to say for you? Yeah. So I went up and chatted with them up there. And basically he said to me, I was concerned about why it wasn't healing at 4 weeks. They'd said it should be, and now it wasn't. And he said, no, this injury that you have, it's just one of those bones that just takes time. He said, and yeah, there's things we could do that would speed it along, but most likely you'll have some long-term effects if we do that. So I made the decision to let the rest of the races go for the season. And, again, I was kind of like, okay, I started Try One for Life in June. People have donated. I felt like I was disappointing people. And I was still just in that process of, I want to help these people, right? So I was really struggling with what to do. Through the recoup process, I guess, I had started to swim and not kicking. So, it's upper body only. And it was actually my son had come up with a way that I could bike. And I think I was driving him a little crazy because I'm sure I was getting a bit cranky at not being able to work out and things. So he said to me, he goes, Mom, I figured out the bike for you. So we put the bike on a trainer that we used through the winter and took the left pedal off, and I sit on the bike and I pedal with just my right leg. So I built myself up to where I can do 20 kilometers like that.
Wow.
So it's just been sort of a process of kind of going through the healing, I guess. And